Here's the steps we're going to have to take to accomplish all this, okay? Number one, it all has to start small. We've already implemented some some steps. You guys already know what some of those are. And starting small means we're just getting started, baby. Hello, babies. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Let me double check this. Does it sound like a lot of static or something to you guys? Darth, Saba, Jojo, hi darlings. Y'all let me know. Does this sound like a lot of static to y'all? Because I'm picking up static in my earbuds. But I don't know if it's my earbuds or something going on with the mic. This is a different setup than what I use for gaming, so this is a little different. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of static. 1 second, loves. We're about to switch some stuff. Hold on. I'm breaking out the headset. I didn't want to wear it tonight, but it looks like that's probably going to be my only choice. Alright, 1 second, y'all. Oh, that thing's stuck. Oh. I definitely need to invest in a better set of earbuds. We're going to lose Mike for a minute. Okay, are y'all picking me up now, darlings? Can you hear me? There we go. I think y'all can hear me.
Can you hear me now?
There's Gray. Hold on 1 second. I gotta switch you back over. So give me like a split second, Gray.
All right.
There we go. And take care of that. All right. Can you guys hear me and Gray both?
Nope.
You can't hear me? I mean, yes. Not through stream. Jojo says yes. Awesome. Hi, babies. And y'all, please excuse the way I look. I took a shower and I haven't done anything with my hair other than comb through it. So that's why it's so frizzy and curly right now. And I didn't want to do this tonight for this particular stream. But as you guys just saw, the snowball's gone bananas. So, nope. Loud and clear.
It sounded like to me, I couldn't really tell because there wasn't enough dead silence in there, but it sounded like it was picking up maybe your computer running or something. It was, like the mic was extremely hot.
Yeah. You know, I normally don't use that setup with this computer, so
yeah,
I took a shot and I missed.
You'd probably have to dial back the gain on it.
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
It sounded like it was very hot.
Got to level 46 in Fallout. Awesome. 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 Now, before we even get started, I want everybody to remember there are no alerts on tonight. None. So don't.
Boo.
No, Gray. And as much as I hate to admit this, y'all are probably going to see me do this every now and then. trying to quit the cigarettes and trying to use the vape to help with that a little bit. So please don't hate me. And don't smoke and don't vape. Trust me, both horrible habits. All right, guys. I've got a notebook here. All right. This is full of all the notes and points we wanted to cover tonight. That's one reason I cut off alerts, so we could kind of get through them. And that way, too, like if we're saying something that's kind of important, maybe an alert won't override that. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? Oh, screamers. I hate them. All right, guys. Let's get to talking about CM Stars Creations. How many of y'all remember when we were around, even when we started CM Stars Creations, and remember the first video we did about it? Any of y'all remember?
Me.
I know you do. I know Blue does. Darth might. It's been a hot minute since we did that. So, and while the basic principles and goals of CM Stars Creations have not really changed, we've kind of changed the way we're going about it some, and adding to it, kind of. Y'all see, okay? And since this is going to go up on the CM Stars Creations YouTube channel, I feel like we need to do this for folks that may be new. My name is Mandy Collins Moore. Who's this guy I'm talking to?
Bill, Bob, what's my name again? Oh, Michael.
That would be Michael. Yes, we're married. Don't tell a lot of people that though, okay? Hello, Miss Lori. Hi, darling. We actually both started out on very different career paths, and just over the past few years, all of that has changed and really dramatically shifted. I used to be a bartender. I worked in stores, all that stuff. Ended up with pot syndrome and a couple other things that made those kind of jobs a little more difficult for me, right? It ended up being a blessing, to be honest, because it pushed me to follow the stuff I really wanted to do with life, which was right. So that's how Rise Mind Over Matter, City of Hope, all of these things came about. And with Gray, he was working in maintenance at a food production plant. Gray, why don't you tell him how you ended up where you are?
I guess long story short would be I started writing code when I was like 6 on the Commodore 64. There's a big way back.
Yeah, kind of tell how old you are.
But anyway, long story short, decided to take that hobby and revive it, I guess you would say, many years later, and go to school and get something in the tech industry. So big shift from working with hands and back to working with brains, I guess you would say.
A little easier on the back.
Yeah, a lot harder on the brain. But anyway, that's kind of how I made my shift.
And keep in mind, we did this all in our 40s. So if any of you are not happy with your current situation, your current station in life, don't think you're too old to change it. You're not. Trust me, you're not. You can do it. You can shift gears at any time you feel good and darn ready, okay? Just wanted to add that in there. Now, one of the things me and Gray both have in common, as some of y'all that are already here know, is the gaming. Which, that's part of what gave birth to Rise and really got me back into writing the most, was because There's so many amazing people in the gaming community, in the gaming industry, in streaming, in content creation, and you're older than me. I doubt that, Darth. Remember, you say I'm old as dirt. Remember that? But anyway, there's so many that never get any recognition, and they're out here doing things for charity, for all kinds of different little things that actually help make our world a little better. So that was part of why I wrote Rise Mind Over Matter. I wanted to bring those things to the forefront and just show, we're not a bunch of idiots or perverts or the weirdos sitting in our mama's basements in our drawers. Y'all know the stereotype. Come on. Y'all know. But also, a lot of these people have a lot of really incredible stories to tell. I could think of several right off the top of my head that some of them have given me permission to tell their personal stories. Others haven't, so I'm not going to put those out there right now. But some of these people, if you knew their backstory, you would be amazed. Amazed. Oh, why is Botrix kicking in? It shouldn't be on right now. It's where I was playing around with the setup earlier. Sorry. It's where the cats have been up there rubbing on it, Lori. The cats have been up there rubbing on it. They get up there and love on it, and they move the letters around. Half the time I find the letters in the floor. Another thing we found out with the gaming community, and not just the gaming community, in the world in general, there are a lot of people that want to work. They're willing to work. They're hard workers, but they've got some sort of disability that prevents that, right? And that's another reason CM Stars Creations came about. Once we get this company where we want it to be, one of our focuses is going to be employing those types of people. I mean, not just them alone, but they are going to be a big focus for us. And Gray, I think we've both seen, considering my situation and some of our family situations, how important that can be.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I mean, some things are limited by, of course, with most employers, it's going to be, 8 in the morning to 5 in the evening, regardless.
Yeah.
It's dead set schedule, and some things prevent people from doing that, and they may be perfectly fine otherwise, but may not be able to keep that dead set schedule. Well, there's very few positions that I know of that can work around that.
Yeah. Well, like my POTS. I mean, you look at me, I look fine, right? I look healthy. But yet I've got a condition that on some days makes it where I can't even get up and walk. How many employers are going to put up with that? None that I know of. So that's another thing that brought about CM Stars Creations and Rise and all that. And we just wanted to cover a little bit of all that because, like I said, this is going to go up over on the CM Stars Creations YouTube channel. So for people that are new to us, to CM Stars Creations, we wanted to kind of explain all that. Now, what does CM Stars Creations consist of? Of course, mine and Gray's YouTube and Twitch channels. Y'all know that. CMS Living, which is a line of products that we design, but we have other manufacturers make. Okay, if that makes sense. Like the shirts and the blankets. I design them, but we have somebody else manufacture them. Just easier that way. And there's CM Stars Publications. Y'all already know what that is. Worlds Collide Podcast. We'll come back and touch on that in a little bit. CM Stars Creations Town Square. And a lot of y'all definitely know what that is, because a lot of y'all are a part of it. So that's our Discord. And CM Stars Farms. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of go into the overall goals for CM Stars Creations and the goals for each of the things that I just named off, like CM Stars Publications, CM Stars Farms, all that stuff. So we're going to kind of touch on what the purpose and the goals are with those. And if y'all have questions, just pop them in chat. I got both chats right here so I can see them. And because, like I said, we want to answer as many of them for y'all as we possibly can. All right. All right. Our personal channels. First off, we want to grow them, spread as much kindness, positivity, and support as we can, as well as awareness on certain topics and situations. Some of the ways we've done that is we've, discussed health issues, social issues, things like that. We have the policies on our channels, and y'all already know we've been there. If you're not kind, we boot you. Goodbye. And y'all know we're not above doing that. Y'all know we've done that with a few folks already. We want our channels to be a safe space for everybody, a welcoming place for anybody that wants to come and be a good, decent person. Does that make sense? I hope so.
Absolutely. There's enough hate in the world. I mean, we don't need more of that.
Oh, exactly. We don't want to contribute to it. Now, another thing we want to do is start adding different types of content. And I think some of that's actually going to go over on the CM Stars Creations channel. Like some of the farm content. And that'll include, just you guys hanging out with the... Let me turn this off real quick. That is reflecting and is bugging me. There we go. But it'll include, stuff like kind of what I posted in Discord the other day. Just, introducing y'all to the critters. Or if I go back into wildlife rehab, which may be a possibility. I'm not going to swear on that yet. Doing videos with the wildlife and showing you guys all the different things about them. Why they need the rehab. Why they're important to the environment. Things like that. Things you can do to help take care of your own animals, especially if you're in an area. A lot of people, especially with like chickens, are in areas that don't have vets that take care of those types of animals. So we'll be covering stuff like that. Also, one of the things we want to do, and maybe this is a guilty pleasure for us, but we hope y'all will enjoy it too. And I've already got the cameras so that we could start doing it. I got the little rigs, the setups, the mics, all that stuff. We want to start exploring abandoned places. That's something I've always loved doing. I find it fun and fascinating. Are any of y'all into that type of stuff? I mean, honestly, is that something any of y'all would be interested in? I don't hate or judge them at all. That's awesome, JoJo. You fit right in, darling. You fit right in. Do any of y'all watch the abandoned places content a lot of YouTubers do? Because I've always loved doing that. Of course, some of them aggravate me, though. Some of the ones I've seen do it aggravate me because you could tell they're actually breaking into places. When we do it, we're going to try to get permission from the owners or make it places that would have, what one of my favorite abandoned places creators calls it an open door policy. In other words, like the windows are all busted out and the doors busted down, standing wide open. Something like that. Fine, we'll go in and look around. But if it's not like that, if it's boarded up, doors are locked, no, we're going to track down the owners first and get permission. I've explored a couple of abandoned places in Sydney near me. Did you enjoy it? I find that fascinating. And in some ways sad, too, though. I know a couple of the places I've explored before, you have to wonder, about the family that used to live there. And especially, when I find little kids' toys in some of them, that's kind of sad. Now, one that I used to enjoy watching, there is an abandoned nursing home. Well, it was abandoned, put it that way. a nursing home not far from us. And a guy that owns a trucking company actually bought it, and him and his wife were turning the inside into a home. They had moved their pets there, and they were using out back of it as offices for their trucking company, right? Well, this Explorer, it was a team. They go break into the place, claiming it's abandoned, and then when they see the owner's dogs in there, they call the police to try to tell them that somebody left abandoned dogs in there. And I saw this on YouTube, and so did a lot of people in this area, and we were all like, no, that's wrong. You know what you just did. And then they made a video responding to all of us. Y'all gonna get your panties and what? They weren't even from around here. They were from friggin' New Jersey and come here to break into somebody's house. That's on another level stupid.
Yeah, it gives a lot of them a bad name.
Yeah, it gives everybody that explores a bad name. So we're going to set very strict rules for ourselves when we do this. And, like I said, we hope you guys will enjoy that kind of content. Now, CMS Living. Like I said a while ago, the line of products that we design, and then we have another company manufacture them. We want to use the money made on that to fund other projects under CM Stars Creations and to do things to show appreciation for our community. Well, all right, like the giveaways we've done and little stuff like that. To us, yes, this is a business. We need to make a profit. I mean, that's just the way of the world, right? But to us, a profit without showing appreciation and without giving back is kind of worthless. So it's very important to us to give back to y'all and to the community around us. That's something we feel incredibly strongly about. Grady, maybe you could put it in a better way than I can.
No, I think that pretty well sums it up. I mean, it's a matter of just being able to make enough income off of it to keep it going.
Yeah, pretty much. Most of it's going to go back. Yeah, to make it fund itself, and then it, go back into this community and the world in general, to just trying to make things a little bit better wherever we can. Yep. This goes back into that. The second point. We want to grow it enough to be able to hire small and independent manufacturers and artists and source more environmentally friendly materials. That's something else that we take into consideration. That's something else we think is pretty important. And this number 3 kind of goes back into what we were just saying. Use that money to fund good causes, whether it be charities or, well, for instance, this community right here. We've had situations, and I'm not going to say who because they entrusted me with this in private. I'm not putting it out there. But we've had situations where we've had community members going hungry, or at least one became homeless, and I felt helpless and horrible because I wanted to help them and I couldn't. I mean, you guys know Mr. Spires. Thanks to y'all, we were able to feed him not long ago. That was incredible. And I want to use a lot of this that we're doing here to put back into any community members that need that little bit of help, that hand up. We're not talking handouts. We're talking hand ups, And, for instance, we've seen other streamers with disabilities that needed, I know there was one needed a new wheelchair. There was another one that needed a special bed. Things like that. We want to be able to put back into a community that we feel has given us a lot. So that's where a lot of that comes in at. All right, Sam Stars Publications. Lori already knows a whole lot about what I got cooking up there. Lori's helping with the plotting and the scheming on that. Now, Stars Publications, right now we are just responsible for, my work, my books. But that's something we want to change. To continue to produce and highlight my books and stories that will focus on telling entertaining yet meaningful stories. That's one of the first goals. And, like right now, we've got Rise. We've got Sandbox. Those are to highlight the good people in the gaming community, plus try to teach a few life lessons, I guess you'd say. The moral of the story. And I've always been told, and I've always believed it's true, the best way to get a message across to people is to do it while you're entertaining them. So I'm sure some of y'all picked up in Rise and Sandbox and all that, some of the morals of the story. And like I said, it's the best way to get a message across to people is to entertain them. And that's just, as always, I will always believe that. I'll die on that hill. And, all right, number 2, second goal with CM Stars Publications, to look toward producing movie and television scripts. That's something, I've written scripts before, but the what's the best way to put this? The way they're laid out and the style of them has actually changed quite a bit over the years. So I'm having to reteach myself. And so I want to get into that, but I want to see other folks get into it too. The ones that's something they want to pursue. Okay? Other writers that maybe have that little inkling in their mind. Maybe I'd want to try this. I want to be able to find ways to help them check that out and see if it's something they're interested in. Goal number 3 for CM Stars Publications, to support other indie authors by providing encouragement and resources. Now, when I say that, like for example, there was one writer who was dyslexic. He did not want to let anybody read his material. He never published because he was worried about his dyslexia. At that point in time, Defiant was doing some of my editing and stuff for me. So I approached her about this gentleman's work. I had read it, and it was a brilliant story. It really was. Brilliant friggin' story. But you could see his dyslexia poking through here and there. I ran it by Defiant. Defiant ended up helping him get all that squared away. And he published. And as far as I know, he's still writing. Another thing, which I got to run by Lori too. Like Lori, I despise typing. I would rather have a cat claw my eyeballs out than to type. Just, it's the devil, okay? It is the dang devil.
I can second that, because I have on numerous occasions tried to talk Mandy. Wouldn't it be easier to just
he tries
put it in a Word document or whatever first, instead of handwriting everything and then having to go back and put it in something else? But no, she don't listen.
Nope, it's not going to happen. But thank God I got Lori, because Lori, I write everything by hand, all my drafts by hand. Then I hand it over to Miss Lori, and she does all that typing for me, and she is a friggin' angel fighting the devil for me. And I know there's some members of the community that don't mind doing stuff like that and little side jobs like that. So I want to kind of build a network of people looking to do little stuff like that to make a little extra money on the side, and hook them up with authors that need that kind of service. Y'all see where I'm going? That's where the resources thing comes in, and it kind of helps everybody. typing is fun for you, like I said, you an angel fighting the devil, because, no. I want no parts. And Darth Gray says, you're fired. You're fired, mister. Oh, me. Now, another thing we want to do with Sam Stars Publications is eventually provide indie authors with services such as editing, typing, etc., which will in turn provide jobs to the people providing those services. Lori, for example, like her doing that for me. Right now, what we're doing is kind of like do Lori, find an independent person that doesn't mind doing little side jobs to make some extra money, hand it over to them. Eventually, if we can ever get this company where we want it to be, I would like to keep typists and editors and proofreaders, all those folks on staff, and be paid directly through us. And just, writers can come to us, go, hey, this is what I need. We can hand it off to one of the people on the payroll, let them run with it. Stuff like that. I don't have Mr. Adams standing over me with that blasted wooden ruler with the metal edge that he cracked on my knuckles. Oh, I had a teacher that did that. I hated that woman. I hated that woman. Miss Rich. I will never forget her. Miss Rich. She was straight from the bowels of hell, too. Excuse my language. Sorry. But that's kind of where we want to go with that. And eventually, the biggest goal with Sam Stars Publications, we want to become an independent, full-service imprint. We want to provide better support to our authors and give new writers consideration without a lot of the gatekeeping. The writing industry has gotten ridiculous. It's been ridiculous for a while, but it's getting worse. I understand the publishing houses looking for quality work. I understand agents looking for quality clients. But when you go to try to submit to an agent and they send it back to you and tell you, we can't read your work unless somebody else recommends you, you're put in a never-ending loop. Because it's one of those situations where if you're a brand new writer, you can't get representation because nobody knows you yet. And the publishing houses, if you go to them, they're going to say, well, you can't come to us without an agent. So you're stuck in this vicious loop. And it's keeping a lot of potentially really great writers down. And so we want our imprint to be the complete opposite of that. The gatekeeping has to stop. Gray demands a raise to come back.
Yeah, it kind of puts me in mind of the way the music industry went. It started out, music industry would pick up groups, individuals, whatever.
It used to be you could take a tape in and drop it off with the receptionist up front.
Yeah, and now unsolicited demos go straight in the trash automatically. And they basically want bands or groups that have already made it on their own and are already making money, so then they can just put some money behind them and make a killing off of them.
Yep. Well, Livingston, he's a good example of that. I mean, he was already doing stuff on his own. He finally gets offered a contract, and then they tell him he's got to change everything about what he writes as far as the songs go, his appearance, this, that, and the other. And he's like, you know what? It ain't worth it. And that's another reason I want us to have our own imprint. I have seen the horror stories where authors get their shot. That big publishing house is really interested. And then they sit down and butcher their work till it doesn't even look like what they wrote. That's a slap in the face. So you guys kind of see where we're going with this. So Gray will be going from $1.50 an hour to $2 an hour. Well, I was thinking $1.75. Sounds fair. All right, let's move on. Worlds Collide podcast. Oh, one quick note. on the CM Stars Publications thing. Because I don't think I added it in with these notes. No, I didn't. Talking about the music industry kind of brought it up. Having Gray into music. I've grown up around people that were musicians or singers. We've got a son into producing music. That's something we may look at in the long run, is also a little music production company. For a lot of the same reasons we want to do CM Stars Publications the way we want to do it, because of the gatekeeping and trying to give more artists more of a shot. So, Gray is mega rich. Off of that $1.75 an hour. Woo! All right. Worlds Collide podcast. We do want to bring it back. We kind of touched on this briefly during a stream the other night. One, it's hard for me and Gray a lot of times to get together at the same time to record a podcast. Two, it got to where we noticed most of our views were coming when we were just covering the most negative crap out there. That's depressing as, you know? I say publications being able to envelop music easily along with audiobooks. Oh, audiobooks is definitely on the list, Miss Lori. I've already been scoping out narrators. Gamer, hi, darling. How are you doing? I might be a published author for a school contest, and I got bashed into the boards in hockey. And oh no! So you've had a good and a bad day. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. No, it's the $2 an hour. That's what's getting him rich, huh? But no, with Worlds Collide, we want to bring it back. And yes, we're still going to cover some of the topics we covered before. Because some of the negative crap, much as I hate to admit it, it needs to be addressed from time to time. Somebody needs to call it out. And well, we ain't above calling it out, you know. But we want to cover more positive stuff. What was you going to say, Gray?
I was going to say, yeah, because I'm very good at having an opinion.
Oh, me and you both.
I try to keep them to myself most of the time, but yeah, I can be very opinionated at times. Well,
I know Saba went over and listened to the podcast not long ago. She said she kind of binged on all the episodes. So, yeah, Saba has learned that the Mandy and Gray that are on the podcast are very different than the Mandy and Gray y'all get on Twitch and YouTube. Whereas here, we keep politics, all that stuff off limits. Try to be, you know, very positive when it comes to the podcast. Like I said, there are things in the world we feel need to be called out, and that's our spot to do it. And sometimes it gets a little heated. So, your salary to be on Team Mandy, sold. But when we bring it back, what we want to do is have guests, and we want to have a couple of backup hosts. Now, I talked to one before, but she had a lot going on at the time. She may or may not. I got to get in touch with her. So we may end up, scouting around for another co-host. That's something to look at. Eventually, we want to build Worlds Collide to where it is bringing in an income that will allow us to create jobs, such as editors, things like that. You guys will pick up throughout this that a lot of the points with everything under CM Stars Creations is to be able to build it to where we can create jobs and to help other people. That's pretty much the whole company's goal for the most part. And so that applies to, everything under it. I'm being bullied by Gray to give him a 1 cent raise. Don't hold firm, Darth. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. um, Now, another thing we do want to do with Worlds Collide, we want to encourage civil, respectful debate between different views and opinions. That's part of the reason we named it Worlds Collide. So one of the things we will want to do is sometimes bring on people that have a totally different view on things than we do. And kind of debate the two different views and see if there's any middle ground. Because honestly, in my opinion, a lot of the problem with the world right now is nobody tries to find a middle ground. Nobody tries to understand the other side. So that's something we would like to do. And of course, we want to present current topics, raise awareness about different situations going on in the world, different health conditions, all those types of things. So that kind of breaks down what we want to do with Worlds Collide. You younger members of the community, because we do get kind of heated at times, I'm not sure. I was kind of worried when Saba said she was going over there to watch it, listen to it all the other day. Probably best to run it by your parents. And just be forewarned that there's some cussing. We say some things that, like I said, it's a very different Mandy and Gray than what y'all get here.
Unfiltered is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, we're very unfiltered over there. It's our space to just let our opinions fly and not censor ourselves. So just be aware of that. You'd like to be in gamer? Well, one of the things we are probably going to end up needing help with, I'm not sure how soon, social media posts. There's going to be a list of things. So we will be reaching out to some of y'all. Oh, and another thing, CM Stars Publications, I almost forgot. This is something that some of y'all might want to get in on. Me and Lori discussed it the other day. I am going to set up in the Discord an area that's going to be for advanced readers. How many of y'all know what that means in terms of publishing? How many of y'all know what the advanced readers is? Dar's trying his best to be filtered. Grady, do you remember me explaining to you the advanced reader thing? Do you remember? I know Lori knows.
Not really. We talk about so much.
Okay. When you're publishing, a lot of times you take a book and you pick a certain amount of people to give an advanced copy of that book to before it's published. They read it, they give you feedback. You know, the blurbs you see on books, the little, like reviews, great story, it flows, stuff like that. That's where you get your blurbs. That's where you get your feedback. And a lot of times readers will catch typos or something like that us as writers may not see because we've looked at it so much, we kind of become blind to it. So we are going to start an advanced reader program in the Discord. And I know I'm going to use it for a lot of my books. I'm going to start putting together a list of who wants to read what genre and who doesn't. And I also, any other writers in the community that want to participate, I want to extend that offer to them too, to join the little Discord program and see what advanced readers may want to read their work. And kind of, gives some of you guys a chance to see what we've got coming up before anybody else. And it helps us out. I know Speedworks wants in on it. I believe Korn had wanted in on it. There was a few people Rhonda wants in on it. There's a few people I've already talked to that want to participate. So Y'all be looking for that. I'm going to set up an area in Discord that is strictly for the advanced readers, and they will be the only ones with access to that. So if you want to be an advanced reader, shoot me a DM so I can put you on the list. Okay. Now, we were about to talk about the town square, the Discord. As most of y'all that are here already know, the CM Stars Town Square is our Discord. And part of the point of it is not just for all of our stuff and the CM Stars stuff to be there, but to build an actual online community. That's why we give you guys your own corner of the square if you want it. That way, everybody can kind of find each other in one place. You can promote yourselves there. We can encourage each other, all that stuff. So that part's already in place, and that reminds me, anybody that wants a square that that wants to be on a corner of the square, let me know. I know several of y'all have already got your corners. Anybody that wants one and hasn't gotten one yet, just let me know. We want to continue to grow a safe and supportive community of positive people. Keyword, positive. Whether they be content creators, streamers, writers, artists, musicians, game developers, or small business owners, or simply individuals looking for a great group of people and a place they can feel comfortable. Again, just like with our channels, we want everybody to feel welcome and know they're safe there. The world's full of enough bull and full of enough hate. We want this to be the place where you can go to get away from that crap. You want a corner? Hold on, let me write that down. I'll write it right here. I will shoot you a DM gamer and tell you what information I'm going to need from you. Once you give me that information, I will set up your corner, and then I will hand all the admin controls to you. So you will have complete control over it. Okay. Third thing we want to do with the CM Stars Town Square. Encourage people of different cultures and beliefs to get to know each other and treat each other with respect, kindness, and understanding. I'm not going to say who. I know those of you that were there for that stream, you already know who, but other than that, I'm not going to say who. Just like somebody came to one of my streams not long ago and they were worried about how myself and the other members of the community would react to them because of their culture. Look, folks, you good to us, you good to other people, that's all we need. I don't care what religion you are, what color you are, what sexuality you are, any of that. It does not make a flying flip to us. We just want good people around. That's it. It's really simple. And anybody that comes in with some hate and some bull, yeah, those are the ones we don't want, so we're going to get rid of them. But other than that, everybody is welcome. And I actually think it's good to have a community made up of people from all kinds of different backgrounds and cultures, because how else do we get to know anything else outside of our own little bubble? There's a whole big world full of all kinds of awesome people. But if we only stay in our little bubble, we miss out on all that. So, Gray, you got any thoughts on that?
I can definitely attest to that because, for instance, like when I made my career change, I went from working, with the same people in the local area, wherever I was living at the time, day in and day out, being around the same people, to now that I work in tech, I work with people all over the world. China, Czech Republic, India,
Yep,
the U.S., Mexico, and these are all coworkers that I interact with on a regular basis. it definitely opens up a new way of thinking when you're around different people, different cultures, and get to understand a little more about their ways. It kind of breaks you out of the mold of thinking, you know, that your way is the only way. It's,
Yeah.
you start realizing that, how passionate other people are about their cultures and their history and their ways of living and their beliefs. And you kind of, in my opinion, I gained more respect for, for all that. So,
Well,
but
when you get
it's
a better
definitely,
understanding, there's more respect
yes,
and a lot more compassion. And the world, I'm sorry, the world lacks a whole lot of compassion right now. So I get what you're saying, Greg. I get it.
absolutely. And another side of that is, I know a lot of the people that I work with, when we're in the middle of something or whatever, and we've got some downtime, we're waiting on something to run or waiting on something. We've got a little bit of downtime where we just break into conversation while we're waiting. Uh, a lot of times they're just as curious about,
Uh
my
huh.
views and ways of things as I am of theirs.
Yep. And I
Uh,
love those kind of conversations.
yeah, and it becomes a
I
learning
do.
experience.
Gamer, I'm thinking of making a song. Ooh, what kind? Respect, truth, and positivity is key. Absolutely.
Bingo.
Always. Always, gamer. You nailed it. Well, that kind of covers what we want to do with CM Stars Creations Town Square. And now, let's talk about CM Stars Farms. What has been the bane of Gray's existence lately, because I've had so many projects for him. I love
Mm,
you.
mm.
Y'all hear him? All right. Number one, CM Stars Farm will be the main base of operations for all things CM Stars Creations and provide workspace for all of those things. So it's basically going to be a place for us to live and work and have everything in one spot. Um, Provide a space for local growers and crafters to set up all year. That's one of the things I've looked at and wanted to do. Now, I don't know if I should bring this part in right here or wait until look. I think I'm gonna wait. I'll explain the local growers and crafters thing in a little bit. But anyway, a lot of local growers and crafters, when the weather gets cold, their business kind of dries up because, they're doing everything outside or at outdoor flea markets, things like that. I would love to be able to have a building where those people could have a booth year round with air conditioning, with heat. I know one of the things I ran into when I was doing a lot of outdoor stuff, like with my candles in extreme heat, what happens to candles? They turn into mush. Things like that. Dart through insecurity, bring it. Come on. Come on. We're fine with it. um, one of the things Gray is really passionate about, while I cover most of the animal side of things, Gray's the grower. Okay. He loves to grow things. And one of the things we would like to see with CM Stars Farms is it be more of a crop farm, which would contribute to not just feeding us, but feeding people who need it. Like local food banks, things like that. Um, I've been there before, okay? I've been where I had to go to food banks. I've been where I was hungry. So I've been homeless. I mean, I put it out there before. I've been homeless. So for me, it's really personal to try to help other people in that spot. I know a lot of people look at the homeless and look at people that are going hungry and think, well, they did something to deserve this. Maybe a few, maybe a handful. Maybe they made a stupid decision. But there's a whole lot out there that have worked really hard their whole lives and they're one paycheck away from losing it all because they got sick. That they, suffered some sort of tragedy. So it would, kind of fuel Gray's passion for growing, plus help some other folks. Just something we think about. Actually, Gamer, we already have. There's only one video on there right now. But we have done that, darling. We have done that. We were talking earlier, there's going to be more content added on there. One of the things we want to add on there is going to be abandoned places exploration. We're also going to have farm videos over there, just vlogs, all kinds of stuff like that. So, yeah, it's already in place. On some days, Darth will do security for free. Cool. Gray, you got anything you want to add on that?
Not really a whole lot to add on that. Just the one thing on as far as the exploration. I mean, that's.
Oh, I was talking about the food, but yeah, go for it. Talk about the exploration too. Go for it. We need to talk about it all.
That's of course in the preliminary phases, I guess you would say. Because
yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell how it's going to go because I know a lot of people do not want you on their properties.
Yeah.
And it's mainly because of things that people have done when they didn't have permission.
Oh, yeah. That's why I said we're going to make sure we get permissions, stuff like that. We're not going to be like some of these boneheads that go break in places. Heck no.
Yeah. And it's going to be completely, determined by if and where we can get permissions as far as doing anything like that. Guys. So
I am trying to quit smoking and I'm trying to quit vaping. I'm trying to get rid of all of it. It just... Okay. Sorry, Gray. No, did you want to say anything about the food? About the growing?
I mean, that's all been something I've always been, interested in. I always enjoyed doing since I was little bitty and in the garden with Granddaddy and Dad. So that's something I've always done, always will do. I won't say that I'm great at it, but I think I've done pretty good a few times here and there. But definitely something I enjoy doing. And of course, if that could be done on a scale to help others, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah, big time. I go to the food banks, make sure the kids have something to eat. I eat less because, to be honest, I almost lost my home because of my work, cut my hours. I need it. See, that's a perfect example of what I was saying. Not everybody does something to cause themselves to end up in that situation. And I get it, JoJo. I have been where you are. I've been where I didn't eat so my kids could. I get it. Yeah. And that's one reason we try to look at doing as much as we can with this to help other people.
Yeah, I completely understand that too, because I mean, a lot of times it's just a matter of playing the cards you're dealt, and there's just no way to play them.
Sometimes you just get dealt a crappy hand, point blank.
Yep. I've been there. I won't say on top, but I've been where I was comfortable, and then a few minutes later, I was losing everything I owned.
Yep.
So I completely understand that. For instance, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I went through 3 plant shutdowns back to back within 2 years.
And I know what plants you were talking about.
And that was the end of everything I owned, pretty much. But, about time I would think I was getting caught up, then bam, another one would hit, and then it would put me in twice as bad a position.
Yep.
Then finally, by the end, I pretty much lost everything I owned.
And it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, especially when you've tried to do the right thing. You've tried to do what you should and what's expected, and then boom. I mean,
absolutely.
In my free time, I'm thinking about helping the homeless shelter. That's an awesome thing to do, Gamer. That is an awesome thing to do. It really is. Once you've been in that position, you will never forget the people that were kind to you. It touches you a little different when you're at rock bottom and somebody is kind to you. I don't know how to explain it.
And that's contagious.
Yes, it's contagious, because part of the reason I'm the way I am, wanting to help people, is because somebody helped me. And I remember that feeling. So I want to do it too. Makes sense? I sacrifice almost everything I have, and I'm doing the best I can do. JoJo, like I said, darling, I've been there. I get it, baby. I get it. Yep, Darth already is working with homeless, feeding the homeless. We are proud of Darth. We are very proud of our Darth. And see, that's the kind of people we want to build this community around. That's our goal with everything. Now, another thing we want to do eventually with CM Stars Farms, we want it to be a rescue farm that provides basic care as well as veterinary care for abandoned and abused animals such as dogs, cats, farm animals, and possibly start the wildlife rehab again. Here's the catch with that. Yes, I had some training as far as taking care of some basic animal situations, wounds, worms, stuff like that. When I say as well as veterinary care, we want to get this to a point we could have a vet on staff, or at least have access to a vet. Well, like Dr. Galbraith. Dr. Galbraith, if you ever see this, hi, I miss you. Dr. Galbraith was a vet I used in Tennessee who was friggin' amazing. It didn't matter if it was 2 o'clock in the morning. You called this man, he was coming out. So that's what we're talking about when we say veterinary care. We want to have access to something like that for these animals. And I've seen a lot of really good people that took in animals or had animals they loved, and they fed them and they cared for them, but then they come down with some sort of strange illness or injury, and the vet fees just bankrupt them. They can't pay them. So this rescue organization or this shelter says, well, okay, we'll take your animal and take care of it, but you've got to sign it over to us and let us adopt it to somebody else. I think that's cruel. So that's kind of where we're going with some of that. Because I'm showing the kids how to cook in case. Cooking, every child needs to learn how to cook. Every child. My oldest one, though, bless his heart, I tried. He's just stubborn. He just stubborn as a mule. But the rest of them know how to cook. Gray knows how to cook. Gray, oh my Lord, let me tell you, Gray can cook steaks better than I will ever be able to. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with all kids knowing how to cook. I worked with a veterinarian that ran a mobile clinic years ago. Oh, see, now mobile clinics are nice. They are really good. I love to see a mobile clinic. I love it. Now, we had what we call Kishi's Heart. And, do y'all want to see Kishi? Have I ever showed y'all Kishi? Of
course.
Listen to Gray. He's on that quick. Of course. He loved his Kishi. Hold on. I will pull up a picture of Kishi here for you guys. If I can find. Oh my God. I've still got the admittance forms in here. The intake forms. Kishi's Heart is what we called my wildlife rehab. And it was named after the little raccoon that inspired me to get into wildlife rehab in the first place. And I typed in her name on my computer, and first thing that pops up is the intake forms. I didn't realize I still had those on here. 1 second, loves. Ultra, hi, darling. Yeah, no alerts are on right now, guys. Just for this stream. They'll be back on for next stream, but just for this one tonight, no. Just because we wanted to be able to chat and get all these points covered. Let's see here. Where's my D drive? I got too much crap on my computer, y'all.
Agreed.
Gray jumped on that entirely too fast.
Oh, I was just agreeing with you.
Did I move her pictures? Oh, no. Gray, have you got pictures over on your computer?
Not on my computer, but I might be able to pull some off of social media.
Well, I had them. Hold on. Yeah, I'll tell you this. This is all the little things that have got all the extra stuff that, you know, takes up all the spot on my computer. And if I can get around here to this port, Bravo, you are going to have to move. He is right here, guys. So I can't hardly move to get around there. If I move the chair too much, I'm going to roll over him and squish him. And I don't want to do that.
Well, he can't be more than like 1.2 feet away from you at all times. So.
You've noticed that too, huh? All right, let's see here. I know I've got some in here. There we go. All right, which one is this one? All right, I'm just going to start pulling these up. Hold on. Let me switch this over to the PC display. That's me with Tegan when she comes into my room. I'm serious, Lori. He is right here. And he refuses. Let me switch this over so that you guys can see this when I...
You're in OBS Infinity right now, so I don't know if that's got something to do with it.
Hello, can you hear me now? Chasing the possum. Why are you chasing the possum away?
Lori said I'm the boss now.
No, Lori. Shush. Shush. All right, guys. Let me pull these pictures up. All right. That was, and these, keep in mind, these pictures were from years ago and taken on an old flip phone. Look at her. That was our little girl. That was her trying to take the camera away from me. See, this is what she looked like when we found her. She was a baby. She had been hit by a car. And her back end was paralyzed. I called a vet because Gray was going to put her down right there in the road. She looked up at him and he couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I call a vet. He says, bring her in. I'll put her down.
We go into the vet with me shirtless because I used my shirt to put over her to keep her from tearing me apart so we could lift her up to put her in the truck.
Yeah. And, well, we took her and the vet looks at her and said, why do you want to put her down? She'll adapt. She'll live fine. And about that time, he had doped her up real good with some pain meds. She rolled over and wrapped her little paw around my finger, and that was it. I was gone. I was like, fine, I'm taking her home. That's it. Mine. It was probably just digging for bugs, JoJo. They dig for bugs a lot. They are good at getting rid of ticks and things like that. Oh, that was a good one of her. She did have to wear a diaper. Gray made her a wheelchair. And this was a stroller the kids would put her in to push her around. She eventually did learn to walk on her front legs. And she could go as fast on her front legs as any other raccoon on four. She was incredible. Team Mandy forever. Thank you. That was her getting up. She was fixing a... If you'll see, she had a Pop-Tart right there. She was eating a Pop-Tart and decided that she didn't want my camera near it. She's sleeping. That was her trying to get in the bucket of plaster. That was a little outfit Amber had gotten her. And she would put that little outfit on her. Cutest little thing. We used her as an educational animal. That's her with her Cheetos and stuff. The vet did eventually have to amputate one of the legs because it kept trying to get infected. And I used to have videos somewhere of her walking and running on her front legs. She would rock. And especially when she got big, when she got grown, she would rock and throw all her weight toward the front. And that would be what would get her up on her front legs. And then she'd just go wherever she wanted. But yeah, that was our little Kishi. That was our little girl. So, she's a large part of why I started doing wildlife rehab, and kind of why a big part of me wants to go back to doing it again. JoJo talking about the possum. I had a possum. Well, let's see. Do I have a picture of her on here? My little Sally. Do I have Sally on here? I've got pictures of her hanging up downstairs. Let's see here. No, I don't have her on this computer. I've got her on my laptop and hanging up downstairs. But we had Sally. She was a possum that... She was the best educational animal I've ever had. She loved kids. She absolutely loved kids. We have possums in the area that keep coming by our back door. Sweetie likes to leave them stacks from time to time. See, and a lot of people are under the impression that they carry rabies. They don't. Raccoons, on the other hand, yes. But possums, your chance of finding I think the last reported case of rabies in a possum in the U.S. was in 1952, something like that. Saba, hi, darling. How you doing? We just been sitting here chatting, sweetheart. So that
just for some quick stats on that, according to the CDC, possums account for less than 1% of all reported rabies cases.
There you go. And possums are really good because they eat bugs. They also clean up carcasses. I mean, I'm sure y'all have seen one on the road or in the woods somewhere doing that. They're nature's little janitors. They're nature's little cleanup crew. And ticks. They keep the tick population down, which is a very good thing. Mice and mosquitoes, yes, they are. Oh, yeah, you got to work tomorrow, don't you, darling? Go get you some sweet Darths. Get you some sleep. Sweet dreams, darling. We were happy to have them around. You hate ticks with a passion? If you happen to see a possum, let it be. Let it be. And I know they can look ferocious and mean, but that's just a defense mechanism. Honestly, you know the cute little squirrels everybody sees? Can y'all see those scars? I don't know if you can see them real good in the camera. I've got scars down through there. Scars down through there. Those are from those cute little squirrels everybody loves, okay? Sally never gave me the first scar. She gave me lots of loves, but she never gave me a scar. I loved my Sally. And we had 3 little girls that, like I said, she was my educational animal. She was the best one I'd ever had. And there were these 3 little girls. You remember those girls? Nikki's kids, Gray?
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to come by every week to see Sally. And one year, right at Christmas, these three adorable little girls show up with their mama. And their mama starts unloading stuff out of the car. And I'm like, what are you doing? She said the girls wanted Sally to have stuff for Christmas. So they had went through and picked out some of their old favorite blankets and toys and stuff and brought them for Sally. It was the cutest thing. That's your defense mechanism. Well, you know, possums, they do. They'll show their teeth and they'll hiss and that. Big old babies. Big old babies. And Gray wasn't real fond of them either. But I'll tell you what, the day she died, she actually died from old age. I caught Gray sitting there petting her little head, and he was crying too. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, I listen to him. I don't know what you're talking about. But
I've been cutting onions.
You'd been cutting onions in my butt. So yeah, that's another thing we want to do with Sam Stars Farms. Use it to help more animals. We also want to use the rescue to educate kids and allow them to experience animals they might not get to otherwise. Well, you guys, I just told y'all what I used to do with Kishi and Sally, and there's Samson here. Gray, could you go grab me Samson?
Yeah, sure. Give me a minute.
Okay. I got to show y'all my Samson. He is a box turtle, and he was found in 2008. Yeah, 2008. By some kids that were out playing in the woods. Something had attacked him. And it had taken out one of his eyes, and it had broken his jaw. And so his jaw sat funny. And it had healed that way. Well, he's still with us. They brought him to me, and he's been with us ever since. I have to feed him differently than what you would most box turtles. Oh, thank you, Saba. I appreciate that, honey. But he actually became another little girl's favorite at the rehab. Most kids were scared of him because of his missing eye and his funny jaw. But this little girl, she absolutely adored him. And I ran into her the other day. She's grown now. Just had a baby of her own. And she asked me, she said, do you still have Samson? I said, of course. She said, as soon as my little girl gets big enough, I'm bringing her to meet Samson. So, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Actually, he's him and the Sliders are the last of the rehab critters we have left. Once I retired, the other ones passed away. They were all we've got left, and that's partially because turtles live an ungodly amount of years. We've already made arrangements with our kids. Those turtles are going to outlive us, right? Once me and Gray are gone, all of our kids are each taking a turtle. So, there's my little boy.
He ain't coming out of his shell.
He don't like it when you touch him.
He was like that when I went in there.
Oh, was he? He's cold then. Is your room cold? He's not wanting to come out. But y'all can I wanted y'all to see his face. Oh, he's dropping his shavings all over the place. But yeah, this is... Come here, Samson. Get up there. I don't know if you guys could see it, but that eye right there is the one that's missing. And you can't see his jaw real good because he's cold, so he's hiding. But that's our little Samson. He has been with us for many, many years now. And if you'll see, I'm putting on hand sanitizer. Little tip for y'all. As beautiful as turtles are, as cute as they are, they do carry salmonella. So anytime you handle a turtle, always use hand sanitizer, or if you can, actually go wash your hands. When I had the wildlife rehab open and had kids coming in and out, the animals that I would let them handle, there was hand sanitizer sat next to each animals' habitat, and I would make the kids do that. As a matter of fact, the little girl Kayla that fell in love with Samson, you just saw, when she got to where she'd want to come help me, and so when other kids would come in, they'd go to put Samson or one of the other turtles down and walk off, and Kayla would be standing there with hand sanitizer going, "Nope, you got to do this." So, just a tip if you ever handle turtles. That's great when he's scared. He's so cute. Samson is my baby. Samson is my baby. And we've never had him try to bite anybody, nothing like that. But there was an old friend of Gray's that we eventually found out later was not a really good person. He held him once, and the first thing Samson did was hiss and pee on him. Kyle, hello. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good weekend so far. Well, weekend's almost over, ain't it? Yeah. Fizme, hello. How are you doing? But yeah, Samson didn't like him. He hissed at him and he peed on him and all that crap. So, animals can always tell when you're a good person. All right. Another thing we want to do, guys, in which we've already covered this, provide help and care for pets belonging to low-income, good owners without removing their pets, like we talked about earlier. Hello, Don't. How you doing? No, we don't. We've never had turtle soup. Mm-mm. But we talked about that earlier. How some shelters will say, okay, we will help your animal, but you're going to have to sign it over to us and give it away. We don't want to do that. We want to really change that narrative. All right. This is ways we want to make the farm fund itself. Crop profits, selling eggs, supporters, grants. I have been looking into a lot of grants, especially. I know I used to get some grants and tax breaks for just the wildlife rehab, but we've never done that for like full-blown farm. So that's something I've got to do a lot more research on. And another thing, which is horse boarding and maybe training a little bit. I used to do a lot with horses. It's been years, but I do miss them. I would love to get back to that. Actually, yeah, it is, Saba. Some cultures, it's a very big thing. Very big thing. Just like where I come from down in Tennessee, frog legs are really big down there. People eat frog legs. Yeah, it's not as popular as it used to be. A lot of people used to actually kill them to make soup and then keep the shell. And you can actually sand and coat the shell and put a with a food grade lacquer. And a lot of people do that and use that for their bowls to eat their turtle soup. Just weird facts. Yeah, Kyle, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I love turtles too much. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Where my family is from, which is Nova Scotia, is lobster. See, I love shellfish. I do, gamer, but I'm allergic to all of it, so I can't have it. My favorite is crab. Can't have it. Sucks. You're afraid of frogs? Frogs are awesome, Saba. Welcome back, Gray. It was popular in my area during the Depression. Easy, free food. Yep. And a lot of people like living in the mountains and stuff. Turtle soup's still a pretty big thing for them. We got to talking about little fun facts about history and turtle soup and such as that, Gray.
Yeah, I caught the end of it.
All right. Now, So that's kind of what we want to do to keep the farm funding itself and funding all the help we want to provide others. Like I said, crop profits, selling eggs, supporters, grants and such, and the horse boarding and training. We also want the farm to eventually get to the same spot we want all the other divisions of CM Stars Creations to get to, which is to where we can hire help for working on that farm. When you give people a way to help themselves, a hand up, it's a ripple effect. Like Grace said earlier, it is a ripple effect. They'll turn around and do the same thing for somebody else. Oh, gamer in the ads. I figured out a weird thing about my allergy with shrimp. What did you find out, Saba? Mine's still kicking, unfortunately. And when I say create jobs, again, we do want to focus on people with disabilities, people that might otherwise have a harder time getting gainful employment. But, you know, we want people that either aren't afraid of animals or willing to learn, people that want to learn more about crops, which will be totally on Gray's end. I do not have a green thumb. That's him. So that's all on Gray. It's so weird. It's like one day I'm allergic, then the other day I'm not. Well, they say your allergies change every so many years. Unfortunately, mine have not, but that's probably because of the pots. Pots makes your body work kind of weird, so it might be in an ingredient. That's true. That's true, Lori. All right, the ads let you go, gamer. It's like one day it claws up my throat and stuff, and then the other times it. How are you eating it? Are you eating it breaded or boiled? That could be another question. So that's the kind of things we want to do with that. And the difference, you know, with CM Stars Farms, we also have a different line of products. We talked about the CMS Living line of products earlier, which is the ones we design and then have someone else manufacture. Anything that is labeled as a CM Stars Farms product is handmade right on the farm. Whether it's blankets, amigurumi, jelly, you know, any of that stuff, if it is labeled CM Stars Farms, it's something we directly made. So that's the difference between those two lines. Y'all talking about food. Y'all gonna starve me to death now.
Why is it your streams always
I was
go
gonna
to
say
food?
my stream always ends up with food. We're a bunch of foodies. Another thing. This is a way that CM Stars Farms and CM Stars Publications are kind of tied together. I've actually started a book called Like the Waltons. And it's very loosely based on the journey Gray and I are going through with CM Stars Creations and CM Stars Farms. Did I read y'all part of that one that night on stream? I don't think I did. I don't think I read y'all part of that one. But it'll be out hopefully very soon. And so that's how those are kind of tying together. Now, oh, is stream still going okay? I just got an alert that OBS disconnected. Sorry, my throat. Food is good. Yes, food is very good. Especially at 2 a.m. Yep. Yep, I remember those ads going after you, Saba. They were bad ads. Bad ads. But I know as everything's still going, but the camera's not. Hold on, let me try something.
It's still going for me, but I have noticed some glitches throughout the stream. So.
Okay, is that better now, Lori? You may have to refresh. May have to refresh. Now, we are going to come back to this thing with Sam Stars Farms here in a minute. Okay? But right now, I'm going to leave it right there. There's a reason we're going to come back to it here in a minute. All right. Overall, Sam Stars Creations goals and the steps to get there. First, create jobs. That's one of our biggest goals. Second, help others grow. When we say help others grow, we mean writers, content creators, streamers, farmers, just as many people as we can help accomplish what they want as possible. So that's one of our biggest goals. Help the world and community as much as possible. Here we go. I had actually mentioned something about the music production here. Possibly one day start up CM Stars Productions, which will be for script writers, movie makers, songwriters, and musicians. Now, as far as the scripts go, guys, I have been making some contacts with some folks that work a little bit in the movies. So I'm hoping to build on those. Oh, it looks like the camera is really going crazy for a minute there. Oh no, Jojo, are you okay? And the stream keeps muting on Lori. Is it doing that to anybody else? I am experiencing some dropped frames here for some reason. It's your Twitch doing it? Okay. It's fine for you, Saba. Okay, good. Alright, so that covered that. Here's the steps we're going to have to take to accomplish all this, okay? Number one, it all has to start small. We've already implemented some some steps. You guys already know what some of those are. And starting small means what we're doing with the channels, the little things we're doing, and just slowly building and building. All right, like the chat and craft streams, right? That's another small step. And actually, those are going to be coming back soon. If you didn't see my announcement in Discord, the new crafting computer is on its way. So those are going to be coming back soon. I'll be fine. I'm a tough cookie. No broken bones yet. Oh. It was probably, and it's a honor me if you knew my search history between my writing and my daughter's curiosity. Girl, I get it. I'm noticing on YouTube it is giving a whole lot of lag at times. Oh, it's doing it again. I don't know what's causing that. Maybe I just need to quit trying to move around a little bit. Just stay real still. Just stay like this. Don't move. The biggest, and this is one of the things that goes back with CM Stars Farms that I'd said we would come back to later. One of the biggest things we're going to have to do, this property, this house works well to a degree. But it's ultimately not going to do everything we need. So we have talked about and looked at possibly buying a property back down around where I'm originally from. Now, there's a lot of things to take into consideration with that before we jump on that. Such as this place. Gray's mom lives with us. We know she doesn't want to leave here. We get that. So there's a lot to take into consideration there. But, you know, like I said, there's a lot to take into consideration there. But we are going to have to find the right kind of property to do all this with. That's one reason we started the CM Stars Farms coffee page, to try to help with that. And if y'all want, I probably won't get to it tonight, but sometime in the next few days, if y'all want, I will do another stream, just sit and hang out and talk to you guys. And we can actually go into that deeper, and I'll pull up some of the properties we've been considering and show them to you guys. Would y'all like that? Now, another thing we need to do to get there is get everything turned into a point that Gray, absolutely. All right, we will do that, Saba. We will do that, darling. Maybe get it to, oh, and when we do that, there's something else I want to do too. I told y'all I'm writing a book series called Aspen Hill about where I grew up and those people there. I'll kind of show y'all around a little bit doing that. You're okay with that? Would be good is a studio and your home. See, that's part of the goal. That's part of the goal, the gamer. Now, we do need to get it to a point where Michael, or as most of y'all know him, Gray, can go full-time into CM Stars Creations and not have to work the other job. That's something we have to look at. We've got to start building more income from things we already have going. And one of the biggest things, and this is where you guys can really come in and help, we have to create a buzz around CM Stars Creations. We have to raise awareness about it, about what we're doing. That means spreading the word, sharing the videos, sharing the streams. Sometimes, you know, if you're not busy or you're going to be out of the house, or, hey, I didn't get a notification on Ultra's Prime. I'm sorry, darling. Alerts aren't on for this stream. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Thank you, Ultra, darling. 32 months. Oh, Ultra. I love you, darling. But, like, sometimes if you guys are going to be out of the house and you just want to leave your TV running, pull up one of our YouTube channels. Just let the videos run. Do the same with Twitch. Tell people you know. Tell them what we're trying to accomplish. You guys see what I mean. And another way y'all can help is we do have the coffee site and our website, and of course here on Twitch. Throwing bits, interacting with the stream, all of that helps. And I'm not saying just the bits. I'm saying just chatting, interacting with the streams, whether it is on Twitch or on YouTube. That all helps. The memberships over on our website, go sign up for a free membership over there. That free membership, and every time you interact with our website, that helps push our website up in the algorithm. That's a big help, whether y'all know it or not. The YouTube videos, just give them a thumbs up. You know, little stuff like that. All of that stuff is where building all of this starts and where it all grows from. See what I'm saying? Oh, I'm noticing YouTube stream is struggling. What about Twitch? How are y'all doing? I don't know what's going on. I think our internet is having issues tonight. And it may also be this camera. Yeah, Ultra, I usually have the alerts on, but I cut them off tonight just so we can sit and cover all this. But they'll be back on. They'll be back on. Awesome, gamer. That would help. That would help. Blue, hi, sweetheart. Blue coming in with the ghosties. And see, Blue has known about a lot of this since forever. She's known this is the route we were trying to push a lot of this. And Blue, drop me a message. Let me know what's going on with Daddy. Please, sweetheart. My meds are not working. My head is pounding. Oh, darling, go take your meds. Go take your meds and lay down. Cut the lights off. Lay your head down. All right, gamer. All right, Saba. But yeah, like I said, go sign up for a free membership on our website. Interact with the videos. Interact with the streams. All of that is part of what helps all this start to grow. Now, like I said, yes, financial help such as, paid memberships, bits, donations, all of that helps too. I'm not going to lie. Y'all aren't stupid, and I'm not ever going to treat you like you are. You know that kind of stuff helps. But that's not the only thing that helps. And I feel like a lot of times people think the only way they can help somebody is just financially. No, that's not the only way. That's, like I said, there's a number of other ways for that. And another way we're going to try to get all this up and going too is, like I said, grants and such like that, which I've been looking into and researching. I'm getting the hiccups. I'm sorry, y'all. Dukas from Zombie Surprises. JoJo. Little Bo was playing 7 Days to Die with me. Okay. I didn't realize she does pay attention so much to what I say. And this zombie jumped out, killed me. And I said what I normally say when I'm playing by myself and not on stream. Y'all forgive my language. I said, you jackass. And Little Bug pops off. Yeah, you check. I thought, oh no. Yeah, it's not good. Okay, now where funds are going and what they're being used for. Twitch site memberships go to day-to-day operations, supplies, and showing appreciation. Putting stuff back into you guys as a community. CMS Living and CMS Publications, kind of the same thing. They're all going back into that. Now, the coffee is strictly for one purpose. All right? For the purchase of a property. And stuff for the animals. That's it. That's all the coffee is for. That's why it says CM Stars Farms from CM Stars Creations. That's all it's for. Now, on each platform, if you do like any kind of monetary support, you do get different benefits. Over on our website, there's a whole list of what each tier gets as rewards. And you guys know we try to do little things to give back as often as we can in all kinds of ways. And if y'all want, we can go into that more in detail. But some of the things you guys get, like if you're a Twitch subscriber, you get included in the credits of my books, in the videos, things like that. If you're a supporter over on the website, same type of stuff. There's a lot of things. And we intend on trying to do more to show our gratitude. We're working on a lot of things. Trying to make our noodles work and cook up some things. Okay. Now, this is part of how we kind of intend to take you guys on the journey with us with building CM Stars Creations and CM Stars Farms, all of it. We want to, like I said, on the CM Stars Creations YouTube channel, more vlogs, more videos, more posts and updates on the websites, in the Discord. And one of the things me and Gray have always said is, as we go up, we take y'all with us. Okay? What does that mean? That means that as we grow, as the company grows, we want to help as many of you grow as possible. And for those of you that are old enough, like we keep saying, we want to get to a point where we can actually pay employees and pay them a living wage, So when we get to that point, the first thing we're going to be doing to find those employees is looking to you guys. Stuff like that. So, like I said, when we grow, you grow. That's our theory. That's what we want. That's what we're trying to accomplish. So, you guys have been given pretty much a full rundown for the most part. Some of the stuff we've done to start trying to implement some stuff, and we've already went over all of that. What questions do you have, my babies? What do y'all want to ask? And the stream to show off the properties, should we schedule that or just make it a surprise stream sometime in the next few days when I can squeeze it in? Let us know. Gray, what have you got to say? I know you got to have something to say. You've been too quiet, and your mouth is never quiet.
I don't really have a whole lot to add. I think you did a pretty good job of covering it.
You think I got it all?
Mm-hmm.
You want to grow. It'll take time, though. It does. It does. It takes time. It takes time.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a long-term goal. It's not something that's going to happen overnight or in a few weeks or a few months.
JoJo was referring specifically to him growing as well. And like Gray said, it's that way for everybody. It all takes time and a lot of dedication and a lot of work. And one of the things me and Gray have had issues with is allowing other people's issues to become our issues. Does that make sense? For them to put us in a position where we're supposed to put off a lot of what we're doing to take care of their stuff for them. And that's one of the things we are going to have to cut out. We don't mind helping anybody, but when you're not trying to help yourself, that's when we got an issue. And we've had a few people trying to take advantage of us in that aspect lately. And so we're trying to be kind but firm. Does that make sense?
And just for clarification, it's nobody in the community or anything.
It's no.
Personal level.
Yeah, this is a personal level. People we know around here. Just put it that way.
It's just kind of pulling attention away from what we need to be working on, I guess you would say.
Yeah. Well, does anybody have any more questions? Or did we pretty much get them worked out? I know Saba and Gamer said they were going to be back, so I don't want to just drop out on them. Now, if anybody has any questions, feel free to hit me up in the DMs on Discord. Also, like I said, if you want to be on the advanced reader list, DM me so I can get you on that list. And if you want your own corner in the Discord, DM me so I can get all that set up for you. And what we may do, what have you guys got planned the rest of the night? I know Gray's got work he's got to go do. But what I was thinking is what I may actually do is take me a quick potty break in the stream, shut down OBS, restart my computer, see if it fixes these issues we're having. And then maybe go ahead and do that property stream. Would that be something anybody be interested in tonight? Or Shall we wait and do it another day, my loves? Probably ought to do it like tomorrow or Tuesday. Yeah, let's make that a goal. Do it like that, either tomorrow or Tuesday. Because I do have server work to do. And I got laundry to do. Anybody want to come do my laundry? I promise it's not more than like 3 loads. Most of it's the critters' laundry. That's the bad part. I got mine and Gray's done. Most of this is critters' laundry.
That sounds about right.
Got me a gift in my box. Ooh, I will take that out. Probably won't be on there until tomorrow, but I'll check it out tomorrow. And oh yeah, Jojo, it may be shut down for a little while at some point tomorrow while I start work on rebuilding the mall. But like I said, unless I'm doing that or some sort of maintenance, it'll be up 24/7. So no biggie. Well, all right, my babies, we are going to get out of here for now. Thank y'all for hanging out and listening. You guys over on the website and the CM Stars Creations channel and coffee, all that good stuff. I know this is lengthy, but we felt it was important to cover everything. Am I right on that, Gray?
Absolutely.
I think you felt. I was going to say, I think you felt the same way.
Yeah, I believe it's always important to be transparent on what your goals are. I mean,
yeah, and if we're asking for their support and their help, I think they need to know everything right off the bat.
Absolutely.
All right, my loves, we are out of here for now. Thank y'all, and we will catch y'all very, very soon. Bye-bye, babies.
Have a good night, everybody.